Hi guys, it's your girl Naya here. In this video, I wanted to talk about Crysvita and like how I feel on it. Someone had asked me to like do a follow-up video and basically just talk about how I feel, different experiences on Crysvita. I apologize if I look kind of bleh. I had a nerve and muscle test done today, so I am in a lot of pain. If any of you have had this test done before, um, I'm sure you know that it's uncomfortable. But anyway, going back to Crysvita, I have personally been on Crysvita for 3 years. I was in the study. Um, just a little, I guess, backstory. I was in the study for the first 6 months. Of course, it was a blind study. I didn't know if I was receiving the placebo or Crysvita. Later found out that in the Houston location, I was the only one in that particular location that was receiving Crysvita the whole time. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't remember if they said it was like just a blind pick or if they specifically picked me, but I could tell that I was more than likely getting the Crysvita about the second month. After I received the first injection, I remember that I had gotten the injection in my stomach. That was the first place I had ever gotten my Crysvita injection. I remember that I bruised and my stomach was like really hard and sore. That was like the first initial injection. Again, I didn't know for sure that I was on the Crysvita, but it became evident later on that I was. So my first injection was like that. I guess as far as reactions, the bruises themselves didn't really hurt. And the day after my injection, I remember just being very, very lethargic and tired. Um, just very, just like I felt like I had the wind knocked out of me, like physically, if that makes sense. Um, and then, of course, after I knew that, or after the months progressed, I physically started to feel better. Of course, I still had pain. It wasn't like a cure-all or anything like that. I would physically, like, my bones didn't ache as it normally would, like the initial getting out of bed. There wasn't the ache and pain of that initial first step, I guess, if you would say, or that initial, like, like, oh, gotta wind me up, kind of. Once I get moving, I'm going. It was different. And as time progressed and everything with the Crysvita, I call it my superpowers. It's very, like, I can definitely tell the difference. Medically, I guess the difference is that I could tell when I first started Crysvita, my phosphorus level was at a 1.7. Right now, I am at a 2.8. My bowing in my legs, I've had many corrective surgeries, but I'm still kind of bowed. My bowing has gotten better to the point where like, my legs are straighter. I'm trying to think. I have had the injury. If you watch my other videos, I have had the injury like with my ankle and the fracture and everything. I'm still bruised from that, so I'm not saying it like, oh, it cures your fractures or cures your breaks or anything like that. I can't say that personally. I don't know for a fact if my ankle is still fractured. It's still very tender. It's still bruised, so I'm not sure if it is still fractured or anything like that. Physically, I can tell when it's time to get my next injection. I will, about like the week before, I'll start feeling like extra tired. I'll start feeling muscle spasms again. I'll The restless leg syndrome will kind of kick up a notch, and it's like my body knows that it's time for me to get my injection. And I get it monthly. I am once a month. I know that some other people, like my sister, she's 16. She gets every 2 weeks. She gets I think she gets 20. I get 90 once a month. And 2 injections. I'm not sure how everybody else does it. But I do know that's my specific dose. But like I said, I feel it. And yeah, people can say like that's a mental thing. Oh, you know when you're gonna get your injection and everything. But I went without Crysvita for a while, 2 separate times, just for different reasons. And I went through withdrawal. Not like the withdrawal, like you think, oh, withdrawal, you're throwing up, puking, this, that, and the other. No, it was like a physical withdrawal. I was having muscle spasms that were insane, really bad bone pain. It was just like heightened, and that is really, like, I hate to say it, like you don't know what Crysvita really does until you don't have it, but that is when I really felt what Crysvita was doing, in the sense of helping with my pain. Like I said, I still have pain, but the pain that I have, I feel, is caused or is part of the damage that has already been done. Like, Crysvita is not gonna it's not gonna reverse any damage that has been done. It's not going to magically cure. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't fix anything. It does. Like I said, I feel tremendously 10 times better. And like, I was trying to explain this to my dad, who also has XLH, but he's not as severe. He didn't have the surgeries. He hasn't been on medications for close to like 30 years. He works, he does like a physical job and everything, and him seeing everything that I go through and seeing the pain now that my sister is going through, it's very, like, he thinks that my sister is having growing pains, like her pain has increased. And like with me, he thinks that he doesn't understand why I'm still in pain if I'm on this medication, and I can't explain. The only thing that I can say to him, because he's in the process of trying to get on Crysvita, the only thing that I can explain to him is that you have to just be on it. It really truly is a miracle that I'm glad that I was a part of, to get this medication for all these people who felt like there was never going to be anything that could help them. And originally I had started out doing the study, and with no regards for hope, I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm relatively young. I'm in my late 20s. Oh god, I know people could be like, oh, shut up. But I grew up with the KFOS and the Rocaltrol, and to just have this medicine that's supposed to, do A, B, and C, I wasn't very hopeful at the beginning. And then going through this process and being a part of the study and watching it get approved and feeling like I had something to do with that I was an impact. Originally, I had done this for my sister because I had never wanted her to go through a fraction of everything that I had to go through. And to be able to see her at 16 on this medication, being a nationally ranked bowler, to see her be a flyer on a cheer team, to see her be shaking her booty in a dance team. That's what I did it for. And now that I see these little kids and adults, their before and after pictures of their legs and how they're not as bowed, that's what I did it for. It was never really about me. Yeah, I feel better. Yeah, I have my good days and I have my bad days. But to be able to look at my sister and to look at all these stories of these remarkably brave people just trying and hoping and having such a positive outcome is truly what I did this for. It's truly, I think, what every one of us did it for. And didn't mean to get all sappy in this video. I was just trying to tell y'all how I felt. But in other words, there's no other way to describe it besides you just have to understand what it feels like to feel like there was never ever going to be anything that would make your day better, to make it seem like you can go on through the rest of your day, that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, that there might be a future where you can do something that you thought you couldn't do anymore, or that you could never dream was possible. That's what I feel like Crysvita is giving. It's changing people's lives. It's changed my life. Of course, I still can't work. It's very painful to sit sometimes, and I'm not very mobile. Walking wise, I can still just walk short distances and everything, but I'm a volunteer coach of a state placing cheer team and a dance team that has been invited to perform for a National Basketball Association team. Go Spurs. And it gave me a sense of my life back. I had lost my mobility. I had lost something that I loved. I was in karate. I was a black belt at the age of 10. And I lost my ability to do that. And Crysvita gave me an opportunity to be a coach, to inspire young adult lives in not only ways of the XLH community and doing my YouTube vlog or doing this, that, and the other. It gave me a chance to branch out and educate others about XLH and about this drug and how I may not have been their coach if it wasn't for this medicine. And I know it's hard, and I know that it's a struggle, especially if you are on disability. I just got my letter of approval from Medicare saying that they were going to cover my Crysvita, and I cried. I know it's hard, but don't ever give up. And if you ever need help, reach out to somebody. Somebody's going to be able to help you. Ultra Care and Ultragenics have been tremendously helpful. I know that that's not available for everybody, but somebody somewhere will be able to help you. And don't ever give up, because Crysvita will get to you, and you'll be able to take it, and you'll be able to hopefully one day share your story with everybody and other XLHers. We may be 1 in 25,000, but that 1 in 25,000 will make a difference. And that's all I'm trying to do. So if you have any questions or stories, or like want to share with me your Crysvita stories or questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask me. I'll do the best that I can in answering. I may not have the answer you want or the answer that you get, but I'm more than happy to share my story, to share my experiences with anybody. So thanks for watching. Bye.